forever. It's just not now. It's not forever. It's just not now. We all have different seasons, and sometimes it requires more discipline than others. And I actually hate that word discipline, so I say blissipin. How can we do this with blissipin? Right now, I'm having oatmeal with um, blueberry. So last year at this time, I was in a healing state as well, pretty drastic with my Crohn's. And I was on the GAPS diet, in which in the very beginning, I had to eliminate so many things. And I had like maybe a list of 12, 20 things I can eat. And everything had to be pureed in the very beginning because it had to, my stomach had to be able to absorb it quickly because of my Crohn's to heal the ulcers. And I needed the collagen and all that stuff. And so I developed new habits with that and cooking and batch cooking. In November, all of a sudden my body did something else that was really weird, where I started getting like this like achiness and soreness in my legs. And I thought it was just because of the steroids and like the side effects. It was different though, and I knew something was wrong. At the end of the day, I would get incredibly weak and like this intensity with my muscles aching. It's like, what is this? And so I've been on a path to try to discover this new thing. Um, and recently, it just got worse. And so I knew I needed a new doctor, a new way, or whatever, find a new protocol. Well, on this last week, 2 weeks, I've been doing this new eradication according to my new functional doctor. And I thought it was for H. pylori, this bacteria. However, it's really to eliminate, and for some reason, it didn't connect with me. And so for some reason, I thought I could go a little bit easier, not that drastic. However, the protocol calls for a low histamine diet. I kind of understood histamine before, but not really. I didn't really do the research on it. And it wasn't because I ran into a friend and then she came over for dinner and she told me how she had a hard time with the last 3 years too, where she thought she was gonna die. It was because of MAS, MCAS, MCAS. I was like, oh, that's what I have, and that's why I'm trying to eliminate H. pylori. And some of the things we ate, she's like, Twee, you can't have that if you're on MAS. And I was like, really? And then she was like, no. And then she told me a list of things. I'm like, crap, I really don't know what I'm doing then. I need to pause and take a look at this. So I had to look it up. And thank goodness for AI and Claude. I misunderstood a lot of things. And when I was reading the protocol for this new program, honestly, I think I was in denial, or it just didn't click for me. And sometimes it takes several things for you to click. But now I'm on a low histamine diet, and it is the absolute opposite of the GAPS diet. So let me help you if you are going through this too. And actually, MASC is the culprit of a lot of other diseases, and I think this might be the culprit of my Crohn's. Okay, and it is misdiagnosed. So I may solve a problem after this because I do want to get off of my medicine. My medicine right now, thank goodness I have government assistance with it, is over $5,200 per month for one bottle. For one bottle. Is that ridiculous or what? Hi, thanks for all of you that are joining live. So MASC, MCAS, perhaps look it up if you are in a healing mode as well and trying to solve your problem. And my intent with this new protocol and this new experience is to share it so others can heal. So first of all, we got to define histamine. And I didn't know either. And I think I still really haven't connected it yet. Histamine is a chemical compound produced naturally by your body and found in many foods. In food, histamine is primarily created by bacterial action, meaning longer a food is aged, fermented, processed, or left to sit, the higher its histamine content becomes. For someone with MASP, your mast cells are already over releasing histamine, so dietary histamine adds fuel to the fire. There are also histamine liberators, foods that trigger your own mast cells to release histamine, and DAO blockers, foods that block the enzyme that break histamine down. Both are just as important to avoid as high histamine foods themselves. So, cooking guidelines for low histamine. Cook and eat food fresh. Histamine builds rapidly even in cooked foods left in the fridge. Freeze meat immediately after purchasing and cook from frozen. Never eat leftover meat. Avoid slow cookers. Long cooking times increase histamine. Avoid grilling and charring. Use simple cooking methods: steaming, boiling, baking, or light sauteing. Cook in glass or stainless steel where possible. Buy organic to avoid pesticides, which can activate mast cells. Here's a comprehensive list of high histamine and reactive foods to avoid. All canned meats and fish, tuna, sardines, and anchovies. I had a whole bunch of sardines because I thought that was good for you and high protein. Canned. I just gave away like 10 cans to a friend. When I found a lot of these things, I actually uh, put it in a box and I got rid of it right away because I know that if I is there, I'll rationalize something out of sight, out of mind. So you may need to do this drastic tactic as well. Do not store it. Do not think, okay, I can maybe have it in a year. It doesn't go good. All food has a shelf life, and you want to have fresh more so. So cooked meats: bacon, ham, salami, pepperoni, sausage. I love bacon. If you love bacon, raise your hand. And bacon was good on the GAPS diet. Thanks, universe. Sausage. I just got a batch of this chicken sausage from Kevin's that's like all like antibiotic or whatever, but can't have it. Deli meats of any kind, shellfish and most seafood, canned or smoked salmon, leftover cooked meat of any kind, pork, generally high in histamine, and fermented and cured meats. Dairy, all cheeses, yogurt, kefir, sour cream, butter, milk. So I thought I was allergic to dairy, but actually I'm not. And my body actually really likes it, so I'm gonna have to go back to my doctor and check this out. But yep, definitely kefir, yogurt, all that. I was doing kefir and yogurt because what do you hear? That it's good for you, right? That bacteria. Yeah, not so good. So something that's good for someone else may not be good for you, and maybe it's just at this time. Okay, processed cheese products, vegetables. Get this: tomatoes, spinach. Spinach is high in oxalate. I've always kind of known this. I wasn't sure. Anyhow, it was okay on the GAPS, but not on this. Eggplant, avocado, pumpkin. Pumpkin is supposed to be so good for your gut. Olives and pickles, sauerkraut, and any fermented vegetables. I was all about sauerkraut. And kimchi. Can't do it. Just not now. Mushrooms. There's debate on this. Canned vegetables of any kind. Here's the one that really kills me. The fruits, because I love fruits. Strawberry, strong histamine liberator. I have a smoothie that is a strawberry rose smoothie. That's my absolute favorite. Not now. Citrus, oranges, lemons, limes, grapefruit. Grapefruit's one of my favorite things. Thanks, universe. Pineapple. I love pineapple. Oh my gosh, and I make up this like pineapple whip. Papaya. Kiwi. I love kiwi too. And recently I found freeze-dried fruits through my friend Mary Beth, and she just freeze-dried like 3 jars of kiwi for me. If you've never had freeze-dried fruits, highly recommend it. It is so good, and it preserves like 90% of the nutrients, and when you put it in your mouth, it just dissolves. Bananas. I use bananas in my smoothies. Raspberries. I love raspberries. Cherries, debated. Dried fruits of any kind, canned or processed fruits. Grains and carbs. Sourdough bread because of the fermentation. I was in a sourdough kick for a long time. I make sourdough for Bella. I just got fresh. What's that thing? Starter. No sourdough. Wheat products can be reactive for some. Anything with yeast, mini breads, and pastries. I'm okay with that. Condiments and sauces. Vinegar and anything containing it. Mustard, pickles, relish, most salad dressings. Soy sauce and tamari. I don't do soy sauce, but I do have tamari. And I'm wondering about cocoa aminos because it wasn't on this list, but I'm gonna have to double check that. Fish sauce. Asians cook with fish sauce. Horshire sauce. Hot sauces. Barbecue sauce. I love barbecue sauce. Most store-bought sauces and marinates, and that's okay because I make a lot of my sauces now anyways. And beverages, all alcohol, especially red wine, beer, champagne, very high. I don't do this anymore anyhow, so that's okay. Fermented drinks like kombucha. I just bought a case of kombucha. I'm gonna be giving this away. Energy drinks, I don't do energy drinks. Black tea and green tea. Histamine liberators. This one kills me. I love green tea and more in particular, matcha. I've been doing matcha lattes for like the last month like crazy. Legumes, chickpeas, lentils. I recently got into a lentil kick. Goodbye lentils, peanuts, kidney beans, soybeans and soy products, tofu, edamame, and miso. I'll be throwing out that new box of miso that I bought. And edamame, nuts and seeds, walnuts, cashews, peanuts. Most tree nuts can be reactive. Macadamia and hemp seeds tend to be better tolerated. Other, chocolate and cacao. I love chocolate and cacao. More so cacao, but it's a strong liberator. Alcohol-based vanilla extract, processed packaged snack foods, food dyes and artificial additives, MSG and yeast extract. No big deal there. So whatever it is that you're going through right now, just look through it and see what season you're in. Our health changes all the time, and it's the season that we're in, our age, like menopause, all that stuff, right? And we're always healing. When one person heals, we heal for others. And it is actually maybe something that you don't know that you're not doing right until someone else tells you. So maybe if you're catching this right now, that this is the message that you need to evaluate your health. So I can't have any leftovers. And last year I was batch cooking, but now this makes my routine totally different, and I have to catch myself with it all the time. And so I have to portion things out differently because I can't have leftovers, and I gotta plan in more time to cook and also to eat. But I look at it to see what is this helping me to grow and learn and opportunities and help other people. One thing is for me to actually be present to eating, slowing down, and I need to slow down a lot, and being present to it and savoring it. And just eating in that moment, because maybe you can't save it and reheat it, and maybe it's not as good for you. So I like to make everything sacred and a ritual, and so I redefined my kitchen, and some of the things I do for anchors for that is I got this towel that says, every day is a fresh start. Every day is a fresh start. And I love lemons, so even though I can't have lemons right now, every day's a fresh start. And then I got these at the jar, and so the dollar store is quite a gem. Enjoy every moment, and it's got a blue flower, and I love butterfly pea flower, and so the color blue is coming up quite often for me. And then I have this sticker that says, "We had the most fun," and so I put it here on my little device where I see it all the time, so every time I'm here I'm energetically charged. I am soaking my nuts. This is sunflower seeds, and then afterwards I have to dehydrate it. Almond and pistachio. But yes, this will give me a chance to slow down, slow is smooth and smooth is fast, and really heal and be present to everything, eating my food where I'm not multitasking and just being present to it. So I have to redo my habits, and I'm in this group called Flow 365, and it's a planning group because I realized that I didn't know how to plan, and planning is deciding in advance, knowing what you want. And Mia, the founder, she's incredible. She's a planning genius, and it's really helped me with my nervous system. So we look at every month, every week as well, and then we also look to see what habits we need to do. And when you do it with a group, it goes so much faster. It's entrainment, and you don't have to finish it. You just need to start it, and then things flow in. And she really teaches you that. It's the divine feminine way of planning, which works a lot more for us than the other way that we've been taught. It's so like counterculture, but for a generator or manifesting generator like I am, it really works. So we looked at habits, what habits we need this next season, because we want to be present to the season, and it's a new season. It's spring. You're not going to do the same thing in spring as you do with winter, and also the energy is totally different. It's coming back to life. Winter is about like soaking things in, healing, resting, going into your creative cave. Spring is about sprouting. I mean, in Denver it's pretty beautiful right now. It's like 90 degrees yesterday, which is just so different, and things are happening faster this year. So I realized these things. I'm like, okay, what I really need to do, because I evaluate my habits on a weekly basis and a monthly basis, what I need to do is have a precursor to the habits. So the habit is being conscious, intentional pause before I start the next thing. Pausing in between, closing up the loop. And so I have to transition consciously. I got into this before, back and forth, and you will come on things and then come back to that energy again. I need to be better about this, transitioning consciously, even though I think I do it pretty well, but I can definitely be better. And so I just need to pause and breathe and ask myself, what are you doing? What are you doing? And when I say, what are you doing? Then my mind will tell me, you're doing this thing. And so I'm not multitasking, I'm present to it. And a picture that really helps me out is going through the eye of the needle. The eye of the needle. So the needle is really small, right? And thread. Only one thing can go through that eye of the needle. It's what I learned from Joe Dispenza. So I'm just revisiting that again. And what am I doing? Eye of the needle. And so maybe this is something that to help you with transitioning, especially if you are a multitasker, always in the house surfer, because it really doesn't help you that much. If you are focused, eye of the needle, it'll only take you 10 minutes maybe, instead of 30 minutes where it's still dragging. So something for you just to consider. So look at your season of spring right now. We're just starting. It's the equinox, it's the new moon. Plant these seeds so that you have an abundant harvest in your garden this year. Eye of the needle. And make everything a ritual, because your life is as rich as your ritual. So plant those seeds right now. And with spring, what are you going to be planting? What do you want to plant? So I've been planting all week, like little things here and there, weeding out the old plants. And I attended a plant class, a seeding class, and they taught me 2 different types of ways to seed. So there's this, and I'm doing lettuce, and a red one and a butter one, and then marigolds, zinnia, blue flax. This is really, really cool. So it's done in a spiral, and then when it grows, it's like all here. Then you can separate it and then put it down. So cool, right? So I'm doing zinnia. I'm also doing nertiums. Nertiums are my favorite, like edible flower. It's so cool. And then okra. Okra. So, what seeds are you planting right now? I would love to know. And may you have an abundant harvest, and may you heal whatever you need to, and maybe your healing answers come to you sooner than later.